Cogs will run over to the turret before it starts firing randomly again, and says, "You did a really good job." Starts putting it away.
But Gary over there, the one that didn't even work, you did a terrible job laying about in the job like that.
I turn around and say, "All right, I need a head count. Everyone alive?"
Nathan comes towards you. Yes, everyone okay?
Getting off the ground, rubbing my bottom. Nothing hurt but my pride after that last move.
So
Ow.
basically, I've got Liam's chest pinned down with one arm, and I'm getting ready to swing at him again.
Jody will help you up, by the way. Jody will help you up. Certainly, she says. It's all right. I slipped up myself. She says, holding up the litany.
All right, we all did well. Good. Well, whatever. So
yeah,
who's this? Who's this little boy?
Plim goes up to Liam. Plim goes up to Liam and says, "There's one left," and it looks like he's about to finish Liam off.
Back off.
Plim turns to you a little surprised, and then
do you think a
backs off.
Templar would side with demons? Come on, mind control here.
Okay.
He's got a point.
Liam seems to be coming out of a very deep sleep, as if he was in a coma for who knows how long, despite the fact that he's been fighting this entire time. He shakes it off, and it's he's starting to come to, but he's acting like everything in front of him is blurry. And he says, What's going on? Who's there?
Wakey wakey, princess.
He rubs his eyes.
That voice.
Still trying to. He's so disoriented, he doesn't recognize Delwyn's voice, at least not right away. And his eyes are still trying to adjust to the light. Nathan and Jody will pull up behind you guys, and so will Cogs. Are you gonna say anything, Delwyn, or are you just gonna wait for him to recognize you? Like, what do you want to do?
He just kind of sits on top of him, pinning him down. So, didn't know you were playing for the demon side now.
He looks in your direction and says, and he looks in direction, and as soon as he sees you, he's startled and he backs up, but he hits the wall because he's right up against the wall essentially. You, he says, their maker, he says, when will the torment end? When will the dreams stop?
Okay. I just saved your ass.
He pulls out his sword and he shakingly is pointing it to your direction. You, away, spirit, away, he says.
No spirits here. I'm the real deal.
You were supposed to be dead, he says.
Yeah, well, long story.
How did you come back? He's looking at the rest of you. Wait. I know you. I know all of you, he says as he turns towards Gwenaël and Lealden and Max. How are you all alive, he says.
We didn't come back. We went forward.
And then I must still be stuck in my dream, he says.
No.
This is reality, as much as that bites.
If you say so. He doesn't seem like he believes you. I'll humor you for now.
Can I make a communication roll?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've got that bonus now. Might as well freaking use it.
Yeah.
Is this a diplomacy roll?
Yep.
Alright, that means I have a +4 then.
Yeah.
Good bonus spat roll on that, so not unbelievable, but probably not enough to convince him.
Not enough to convince him.
I don't blame it anyways with that line.
Very well, he says. He starts to get up. I'll run with this illusion. I'll run with this dream, even if it's just an illusion. What do you want with me?
Yes, what do we want
Thank you
with him?
would be nice.
Thank you for what? He says.
Saving your ass from the big bad demon abomination that had you mind controlled.
You destroyed Uldred?
Look for yourself.
We helped too. Can't. Now I know I must still be dreaming. None of us were able to defeat Uldred.
What can I do to prove to you I'm living, breathing, right here?
He thinks for a moment. You can tell me where you've been the entire time that I was trying to find you.
Oh, that won't convince you of anything.
Long story short, time travel.
Illusion. All right.
Should
What
I
are we
heal
going
him?
to do next? What are we doing now?
Should, like,
You really
no,
are
that's-
an idiot.
when I says, should I heal him? Looking at Derwin.
No. It's fine the way he is.
Don't touch me, mage.
Come on, I thought we were
Says-
best friends.
Okay, so I was like, wait,
I
that's
wanted
it,
to
it's
say
like-
hi to you back in
problem.
Redcliffe 22 years ago, but I don't think you even saw me. You were there with my sister, though.
He looks at you and tilts his head. But he doesn't say anything. Well then, Jody pipes up.
Yeah, we don't have time for this. How about we go down into the basement and find out Red Lyrium?
Is he coming with us?
Well, is he coming with us, Darwin?
Yeah.
Well, looks like he is.
Slight surprise for my character.
Plim grabs a hold of Liam's shoulder, leans in very closely to him, and says, "Any false move, and you're going to regret waking up. You'll wish you were back in your illusions. Just so you know." Pats him, then leans back. "Go on," and he sort of slams him forward.
What?
Liam follows, but he won't really say anything unless spoken to.
All right,
Anyway,
let's
so-
move on.
Lean in and start talking to Derwin and whatnot. Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
You seem to know this Templar, not in a friendly type of way either.
Well, about in the same way you knew your Templar. So if we had a friendly rivalry going. Well, I thought it was friendly. No, not so much.
Hmm. Alright.
Any other conversations going on before I tell you what happens as you go through the tower?
That one's just shaking his head. Liam, I did not know you were so damn gullible.
Oh, no conversation for Maximilian. He's gonna wait till he's back into the safety of the ship before he talks to people.
Okay?
Only
Yeah, we'll
talk
wait
at
till you're in
base.
camp. We'll wait till you're back on the Normandy. I mean,
Yeah.
Tempest Dream.
You guys just stand where you are. I'll go find you. All right.
Yeah, going all the different parts of the Normandy.
Yep.
Okay, so just to fast forward through, with Uldred gone, the entire tower is rid of demons. You still find a lot of dead bodies, and as you pass by several of them, several of the Templar, bodies of Templar who have rotted and are probably skeletons by now. Liam just kind of sighs and just shakes his head, but he doesn't say anything.
A happy trip down memory lane for him.
You make your way down into the area of the basement. There are runes that need to be manipulated in order to open the door. Between all of the mages there, you're all able to figure it out. And you make your way down. You make your way down into the basement. One wing of the basement, it's labeled. One wing of the basement, you notice there are signs that inform you that it will take you to the phylactery room. The other side of the basement is where it leads to the storage area. Several, pretty much, Nathan and the NPCs are going to go to the storage area. You guys are free to do whatever you want, but the NPCs are going to the storage.
I'm going to go to the storage and see if we can find any equipment we can use to aid in our campaign.
Okay.
I say, as I head off with the NPCs.
Okay.
So Nathaniel, Jody, Cogs, and Plem. And
Plim
and
is
the last man
well. Plim is staying very close to Liam,
Yeah,
And he's
Delwyn's kind of just.
like dragging Liam around.
Yeah.
Keep up step. Come on, push, push.
Yeah,
push.
yeah. Pretty much, Plim is muscling. He's doing his job. Plim's doing his job. Muscling. We like Plim.
Yes, we do.
Is anyone not going into the storage room?
I feel like I should go in there. So
Do a quick sweep, see what we find.
All right. You in the storage room. There's a ton of chests, bookcases, and you're trying to rummage through anything that's particularly useful. Among the things that you find are the following. Somebody will need to write this down.
Yeah, on it.
An expert spirit rune. A journeyman lightning rune. An expert rune of protection. Journeyman rune of impact. 4 drake scales.
Yay.
how serendipitous.
Let me roll to see how much silver.
Full plate of heavenly glory.
Probably
Yes.
not in a mage tower.
Aww.
Okay. You will find 700 silver.
Okay.
Well, 8 ways.
Shopping spree.
You will also find a mysterious-looking bottle of deep crimson, dark crimson liquid. And finally, you will find a black box that contains the red lyrium.
Ah, excellent.
The box seems to be made of lead.
Oh, good. So I imagine it's quite heavy.
Cogs immediately goes towards the red lyrium, and he takes out his goggles. Yep, this is the real deal. Fascinating. I have never gotten to see red lyrium up close.
Well, we should not. We should not keep looking at it so close.
Cogs doesn't seem to be paying attention. He seems fixated on the red lyrium, the open box of red lyrium.
I gotta go up to him and then close the box.
You close the box, and then Cogs goes, "Huh? Oh, yes, of course, yes, whatever you said."
Right.
All right then.
Everybody roll a perception and searching.
Oh,
Searching
perception, not my strongest suit.
No, not mine either.
It's
Oh.
searching, which is its own thing, so it's not seeing. Right?
Searching. It's not. I'm sorry. It's searching is his own thing. I don't know what it is.
Okay, there's shelves and
Is it-
walls.
What does that fall under?
It's perception search. Also
Yeah,
under
perception search. Yeah, perception
Okay.
search is
Yeah,
separate
it's
from
not a
seeing.
seeing check.
Okay.
Okay.
We roll stupendously.
Maximilian, you are the one
Yeah.
who ends. Maximilian, you are the one who ends up finding the bottle of crimson.
Okay.
I don't know what you do with it, but it looks interesting.
Hey, Plim, wanna take a sniff of this? Just a sniff,
Plim.
mind you.
Plim takes a sniff. It's blood.
Let me see that.
Blood.
It's
Oh,
not.
whoa.
It's not human blood though. Not demon either. I'm not really sure what this blood is, but
Well,
it's
you
neither
think,
human nor demon.
I doubt I
That
can
would-
figure anything out there.
you think you know what it is?
Who are you asking? Go ahead.
Darwin.
Oh, Delwyn.
Yeah, he kind of just takes it off Plim's hands and looks at it.
Delwyn, I'll let you roll. Did you take any focus on blood magic? Does
Yes, I
anybody pass it?
did.
Roll on blood magic. Roll.
Okay.
Ooh.
I know I probably don't have a good chance of getting this. I'll be able
You
to
can
cast it.
you can roll it too if you'd like.
And what am I rolling then? Is it a magic roll?
It's a magic roll.
Yeah, magic roll.
Alright. I'm probably a kind of a holy
Oh.
crap penalty. Or
You
not, I
both-
don't have.
Yeah, I
You-
think you'd be at a penalty because you're not holding it. But
Yeah.
range.
But from sight, with a 19 based on sight, you will know the same thing that Delwyn knows. Delwyn, you managed to identify this blood. This is very rare. It's dragon blood.
Okay,
It's
so
a
I kind
bottle
of I was looking at
dragon
it.
blood.
I got to look. I was like, is that what I think it is? To your character.
It's dragon's blood.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's
Just complains
interesting.
with the bottle.
Dragon's blood. Huh.
Yep.
That.
So, how
Classic.
does that help us? Magical spells?
I vaguely remember, Jody says, from my studies that dragon blood specifically can be used for certain spell components, but I didn't really look further
Hold
into
on.
it, obviously.
There are many legends of what people can do with dragon blood.
Did we need dragon blood for the ritual?
No.
No. Well, guess we keep on. We'll keep this for now then.
Who's gonna keep it?
I will.
Okay.
Knowing. Okay, having a focus in blood magic, can I make a roll to identify if it's used?
Yeah.
Let's give the blood to the blood mage. Hey guys, I just summoned a dragon on the ship. Look.
Oh wait, that's not a dragon. That's just Plymouth.
Is that your roll? The 21?
21, yeah.
No, it has not been used at all. This is it's unused, it's fresh. Well, not fresh, but I mean, it's not.
Pulling upon knowledge, though, what I was meaning to say is pulling upon knowledge, would I know that dragon's blood is used in blood magic rituals?
It can be for very powerful blood magic. However, it can be used for other things that are not related to blood magic.
Okay.
At least not into the traditional sense.
I don't know what thing that's used for. Do I need to make a roll for that?
Sure.
What is that? More magic roll then?
That would be a magic roll. Blood magic. I would say blood I mean, it's blood, so I'm going with the blood magic focus.
18.
That you would basically know the same thing. You would know the same thing. It can be used for blood magic, but it not necessarily.
Well, I wasn't trying to get the blood magic extrapolation. I was trying to get any other things that it can be used for. Because I wasn't focusing on the blood magic, so.
Yeah.
Because I know it can be used for stuff outside of blood magic. I think one of the classes actually other classes as out of character knowledge uses dragon blood.
For. I'm sorry. Which class is that? Remind me.
I don't know. I might be getting things mixed. I could have sworn it was one of the warriors.
Oh, I know. Like with drinking the blood, like in Origins, if you drink the blood of, is it the blood of that dragon? Is that what happened? Drinking the blood of that
Yeah.
dragon? Yeah. gives you one of the specializations. I forgot. One of the warrior specializations.
Reaver or something?
Yeah, I think it's the Reaver. I think that's one of the prerequisites to turning into a Reaver specialization for a warrior class. So, okay, so you're aware of that. You're aware of that method.
So, medical. Hey, Cogs.
Yes! What can I do for you, Maximilian?
Are you familiar with rune crafting?
Rune crafting? Oh, yes, of course. Wow.
Yeah. Could you do something with dragon's blood?
Maybe? But I don't think I'm that good.
Hmm.
I don't
Shame.
focus on rune crafting. I just happen to know how to craft runes, but I would probably have to be more skilled specifically on runes. I'm more focused on lyrium, not on blood.
Oh well. Thanks anyway.
And even then, that's secondhand from Dagna. Dagna.
Hmm.
Sort of looks down.
Well, best not dwell on it.
The other things that you find in here are various mage robes, mage hats. These you will be able to find a couple. You'll find 2 mage robes that gives you a +1 to your armor rating. Yes.
Oh.
2 of them that gives a +1 to your armor rating, and 2 mage hats that gives you a +1 to your magic.
Are they like ridiculous looking?
They are kind of ridiculous looking.
Yes.
They're the conehead kind, but +1 to magic.
Hilarious.
Someone actually pulls a hat off the shelf and puts it on Liam's head and says, "Huh, well, that kind of looks good on you."
He kind of brushes the hat away.
Takes the hat off.
My character says, to be fair, they are very gaudy.
Hmm.
Well, are we done here?
Yep, you have all the equipment, right? All the items.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
There's there's also, you will find a staff as well. It's not as nearly as nice or powerful as Zathrian's staff, but it has 2 slots and it gives you a +1. While you're wielding it, it gives you a +1 to your defense. It's like a defense staff. Not your armor rating, your defense. +1 to your defense.
Nice. And the Holy Sword of Glory? +2? No? No.
No.
Okay.
We did get those Drake scales though, so
You
who
do
knows
have-
what Wade can do with them.
You do have 4 Drake scales. So, you're going to make your way back up to the ship?
How about the phylactery room?
That's up to you. You guys can go there if you'd like.
So, do I know what is involved in a phylactery room at all?
Roll me an
Probably
arcane
not.
lore or magic,
Okay.
whichever is higher for you. Probably cunning.
Cunning, yeah. Let's see here.
Wait, what's
all
going
right.
on?
Yes, doing some magic stuff you wouldn't understand.
I don't know anything about
Okay,
magic
10.
stuff.
Okay, so it's a room.
You have no idea. You know nothing about the phylactery room.
Oh. You guys want to check out the phylactery room before we head out?
Phylactery room?
Jody says, those types of rooms, phylactery rooms give me the shakes, she says.
Oh, all right. I had no idea they affected you so much. I have no idea what they are.
That's how they track us if we ever try to escape from the tower.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, but I think that Nathan will say yes, but I think all of the mages here who would have had phylacteries in that room are probably don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah. Right. Gwenaël, you want to check it out, or should we get out of here? I think we're pretty much done.
There might be something of worth looking in there, but I do not want to go in there alone. I kind of agree. It is uncomforting. It's especially if you know how they make the phylactery.
Well, I can join you. Just make it quick, okay?
Okay.
So who's going in the phylactery room?
Him. I look at Nathan and see if he wants to come with.
Delwyn's going in.
Nathan will say, "I think I'll hang back here with Jody," he says.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be back soon.
Okay. I want to come. I want to see. So Cogs will go.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You guys go into the phylactery room, and if it was kept, it probably would look a lot more majestic than it does now. There's a lot of cobwebs. It's really dusty. You don't think anyone's been in this room for a long time. But there are columns all around this room, and each column around the columns each have shelves that flow around them, and there are I don't remember what a phylactery actually looks like. Are they like glass vials?
Like little glass bottles, yeah.
Yeah.
They're glass bottles that are arranged. You see them. Each column has a letter on it. It's alphabetical. So there are 26 columns. Not all of the columns are full.
So it's not organized by rank.
I would probably say no. I think it makes. I think it would be easier for people to just do it alphabetically than by rank. Because otherwise, if you did it by rank, you would have to do it alphabetically again by rank. So I think just straight up
I
alphabetically.
think they actually, I can't remember, but I thought they did make a note that the first enchanters and whatnot actually did have a special one
Okay.
in there, but yeah.
So so they might have moved like the higher ups, like first enchanter, senior enchanter, have their own section, but everybody else is in a different section. I'm not very savvy when it comes to Dragon Age phylactery rooms.
I'm just hanging out by the door, waiting.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. That's
The,
where all the enchanter phylacteries are.
Okay. You can take a look at all the names. You can see, I mean, there are probably all names that you may not necessarily recognize. Irving is the closest one that you might remotely recognize.
Mm-hmm.
He was I don't know if he necessarily was a senior enchanter 20 years ago, though.
Right.
So there in the Dragon Age novels, they did mention a mage who Irving succeeded. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but that would be the only other mage that you would remotely recognize here.
In that section, about how many bottles are there?
In that section, I would probably say about a dozen. I'm sure most of those first enchanters were like have been long dead, but they probably don't toss them right away.
especially when everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Well, let's take out the old belt pouch.
Are you taking all the first enchanter? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you doing?
Taking these.
Right.
They don't need them. They're dead.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you guys? Anyone else doing it? There's nothing else here of interest except for the vials of many mages. Like, I mean, the columns are filled with vials.
My character looks around and is like, these essentially feel like graves now.
I'm gonna roll a perception check. I suck at perception check. Just gonna see if I see this happening. I'm like at the far side of the door, so if I get any minus, that's okay too.
Yeah. Perception -2.
Yeah. I'm not really paying attention. 10.
Yeah, you don't notice this. You don't notice it. Some guardsman you are. Not very... I think Plim is the one between the two of you that like points you. Look, somebody's getting their purse stolen.
Okay, I got this.
There's this woman screaming, "Help! Help!" And Maximilian's like, The robber.
Sharpening my sword.
Cogs.
Anyway. Yes?
Cogs.
Yes.
Do you have any form of incendiaries or explosives?
Do I ever? Well,
Once we leave this room,
not as much as Victor, but I have something. Why?
once we leave this room, I want to destroy all these phylacteries.
Okay.
Because what every mage would want to do if they could escape, so they could not be tracked. And this is just a symbol of the oppression, even in their death. So I don't want this.
I probably have enough to destroy maybe a third of them. If you want to destroy all of them, I think Vic would love a chance. Should have brought Victor
Okay.
with you.
Yeah.
But I
if
can destroy a third.
shelves-
I can destroy a third right now if you want. But
If we strategically place them in the right areas, I think we can maximize the destruction.
if I use them here, I won't be able to use them later. It'll take time for me to make more. He's saying he's basically telling you he wouldn't have use of them in battle anytime
Right.
soon.
How effective would be casting a walking bomb spell?
How effective?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Walking bomb doesn't have that large enough of a radius, I don't think. You might be able to hit 2 columns at most with that.
I could cast some spells too and whatnot, and I'll just take a couple of his explosions, and I think between magic, smashing, and all that,
I mean, if you
on the
want
way out.
yeah. I mean, if you want to spend an afternoon just like dropping all of the vials on the floor, that'll take some time. But I mean, that's another option if you really want to do that. Definitely, setting explosives in this room would be faster.
Yeah. I wanted to just try to put some in strategically, and on my way I'll just blast a few and stuff, is what I think. I think I can get most of them that way.
Okay.
So.
Whoa.
Could blast out the shelves that they're on.
Yeah, I have a Mind Blast, so I can get large areas with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but doesn't Mind Blast only work with things that actually have minds?
No. It's telekinesis, pretty much.
Okay, that's fine.
It physically knocks people down.
Okay.
So.
All right. So you are not going to have Cogs.
Oh no, I'm
Destroy
still having
anything.
him set up a couple of those for on the way out to make sure we get all of them. But just a couple. One, even if that's all he can spare. I don't want him using too many.
Okay. I don't know if that'll just be able to destroy all of them, but
So should I
you're
just?
using
I'll
Mind
very
Blast.
stealthily cast a walking bomb spell. It's got the same radius as his mind blast does.
Doesn't Walking Bomb require a living thing? Don't you need to
I
implant
don't
that in a living?
know.
I think you have to actually put that onto a living thing.
It's blood.
It's a good question.
Huh. There's some poor random rat running around, but
Yeah, is there a rat in here?
I don't think a rat would make a large enough explosion
poof! Like 10 centimeters.
because it's the body itself that's exploding and causing the damage.
Walking bomb infuses the blood of an opponent.
Oh, so you might be able to infuse.
Does that work?
Well, the problem
Yeah.
is these vials don't really hold that much blood. Like if you were targeting one of the vials,
Mm-hmm.
it's a stretch.
Each one would. It'd be like making a little bursts of each one. So all
Yeah,
individual bursts, but they wouldn't cause much of a chain reaction, probably.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a targeted spell, so you'd have to target a single vial, and that in and of itself isn't going to do much.
Yeah, a single vial, but when the single vial explodes, like
Oh, and it spreads. Yeah.
It'll
yeah, it
spread,
spreads.
but you'll be able to do like a half of a column.
I'm gonna start smashing.
All right, you're smashing. You're smashing.
Yeah, that
I
sounds like
think-
more
If it's your goal to destroy everything, you can spend the rest of the day doing it. If that really is your goal,
just pull down the shelves.
Or you
It's kind of a
can-
symbolic thing for me, whatnot and stuff. This is a symbol of tearing down the last bit of the Major Depression and their death.
All
So.
I mean,
I'm just gonna. Whoa! What are you doing? That's the explosion. What are you doing?
breaking
Stop
stuff.
it! Why are you breaking this? What are you doing?
The phylacteries are a sign of the mage oppression, and in their death and whatnot, this is just another mocking of it. I want to destroy them.
What do you mean, mage oppression? The Templars are here for a very good reason. Now stop destroying these phylacteries.
The Templars are the ones that essentially doomed him here. The Templars are here for a good reason, but this is just a painful reminder. There's nothing left here. You won't understand. I'm sorry.
I don't
I
agree
just
with
like
this.
breaking things.
Yeah,
Call it a-
what are you even doing in here, Delwyn?
Breaking stuff.
You guys, you are impossible. I just storm out.
I just
Oh.
look over at Quinail. Start smashing.
You storm out, Maximilian. Where do you go? Are you going back? As you storm out, you see the rest of the group. Like, they're about to go back upstairs,
Yeah.
and they see you storm out. And Jody will
You're
say,
smashing. And then they hear
"Maximilian." Jody will say, "Maximilian, what's the matter?"
What's the matter? They are going rampage in there, destroying all the phylacteries and taking down the room.
Ah, I see. She says, and she nods as if it looks like she kind of realizes why.
You see what? Why are they doing that?
The phylacteries, she says, are a way of tracking down mages who try to escape from the circle. But as Nathan said, I don't think that there's any use for them anymore. I guess Gwenail just wanted to make sure that they weren't used for ill purposes.
I don't like the feeling of this.
Delwyn's theory is that potentially a blood mage could get a hold of it and use it
There
to
are so
control
many
their
reasons.
spirits in the Fade.
A blood
No,
mage
so
would get
many
hold of it.
That's
As Delwyn goes.
There are so many reasons.
Gotta
to do
make
this.
sure no blood mages get a hold of these vials.
And these. And
Well,
these.
I'm getting a hold of these before I'm a blood mage, so it's okay.
Okay.
Anyways,
Well then, let them have their petty revenge.
All right. So you guys will go. I guess the people who are not in the room, the phylactery
Phylactery
room, will stay put and destroy everything. Everybody else is going up on the ship.
I was about to say, as my character turns to Darwin and says, "Thank you for helping me destroy these."
I like breaking stuff. It's okay.
I normally like to fix things, but breaking things are fun too.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, yes. Let's go.
Hello everybody, Angel Arts here, and welcome to Session 8 of Dragon Age Intervention. I am once again joined by all 4 of our players, and we are ready to go to kick things off. So, we're going to start with our warm-up question. This is more for my information, I think, than anything else. We've started exploring a lot of each of the individual characters' backgrounds, especially with the last 2 sessions, both PCs and NPCs. So this is more of a question to each of the individual players, just so that it's something that is more of an FYI for me. Of all of the NPC characters that you guys have met so far, which one are you most intrigued by in terms of the backstory that you have found out about them, or which character NPC do you want to learn more about their backstory? Because there's a lot of NPCs, so I'm curious to find out which ones you're most interested in finding out more about. And maybe why, if you can give us why.
I feel really bad because I was literally right now looking through the characters list trying to desperately remember that guy's name, but I can't find him.
Which one?
Which was the guy who had us be in the Fade in the first place.
Are you talking about Nathan?
Yeah, Nathan. That's
Nathan, okay.
I'm intrigued by Nathan. I'd like to learn more about like if he had to deal with, having those powers of being able to travel into being a Fade Walker, or just like his experience about it. I'd like to learn more about him like that.
Okay.
Dreamwalking interests me.
It is an interesting, yes, it's also a very rare occurrence in the Dragon Age lore. Anyone else?
Battle meditation. Anyways.
I think so far I really like what you've done with Plim.
Yeah.
All about that a good guy turning werewolf and having all this pretty dark drama with his family and all that. I like the bitterness and a bit of darkness in my stories, and that fits the bill.
The interesting thing I liked about Plim is that Maximilian knows him to be such a player, and he finally ends up settling down. He finally ends up deciding, I'm going to be committed to this one person, and then this happens to him. So it's an interesting situation, which I ended up falling in love with that character specifically because of that.
Yeah. And who would I like to know more about?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's interesting. I've always been intrigued by Jodie, not just by her looks, but just that she comes from a totally different background, but she seems like someone that could really connect with like Mac and Maximilian because they're about the same age.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She intrigues me.
Fair enough.
Yep, that's it.
For me, it's I think a little bit of a difficult question because I don't think I can narrow it down because each NPC is so different and diverse. Like there's these little things I want to know about everybody.
Must run around ship asking everyone questions.
Asking every questions.
Yeah, exactly. I think right now I would take the easy answer and say Liam just because we don't know as much about him as everybody else right now.
Okay.
But I'm also curious with like I like what you've done with Plim. Knowing more about Vic would definitely be like I'm curious about that. I'm curious about the crew of the Tempest Dream in general, like how they came to form. And
had you not to make you feel bad, but had you brought Victor with you to the Mage Tower, it would have answered a lot of those questions. You would have learned a lot more about. But I mean, then you would have missed out on either Cogs's or Plim's background. So.
Question. Because I don't think. Cause I remember I left early in the last one. Did we kill Plim? Not Plim. Sorry, what's his name?
No, we took Liam. No, we took Liam with us.
Liam, you took Liam with. Okay, so he's a prisoner now. Okay. Was it that he was being manipulated, controlled by? Demon guy. Okay, so he's back to normal. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, he's back to his dickish self.
Yay.
There's actually a multitude of reasons why I avoided having Delwyn kill him.
See,
I didn't want to kill him because it seemed I thought he was being possessed by him.
One of the biggest reasons is that Delwyn has never killed another human being before.
Oh.
Werewolves, trance, darkspawn, all these other things, yes, but he's not.
It's interesting.
He's actually not very good with killing people, and at the same time, I think he's also come to terms with the fact that the parents from this era aren't his parents. He's got this understanding that this isn't his place, this isn't where he belongs.
That is interesting.
Anyway.
Alright, Ray, you're up.
I'm a bit Shelley's vote in this particular case because there's a lot of different interesting things with the NPCs and stuff, and like learning the backgrounds was pretty interesting. And I hate to, but in terms of like choosing one that I've enjoyed learning about the most, I would have to say actually Nathan's. It kind of came out of like a shock to me. It was really well handled and stuff like that, and kind of connected some of those dots I could kind of see going on. So I just really liked that. I wasn't really expecting Nathan to pop back up again that much anyways. I kind of hoped he would do something with it, but I just didn't know what. So that was really well done. But like all of them are really good, but unfortunately, I feel it cheap because it has that connection to my backstory and stuff like that, and it was just like really well done and stuff. So,
Well, thank you.
yours
Yours was the hard Ray. Yours was the hardest, only because your background was so well detailed, that like the wiggle room, I had to, I had to keep myself from making sure I didn't overstep too much of my boundaries, if you know what I'm saying. So.
I was afraid that I actually did a little bit too much. I get a little bit writer mode goes on sometimes. So,
Yeah.
anyways, character I want to learn more about the background of. I mean, obviously again all of them, but actually it is a little bit about Liam because I think that's going to not just like open up a lot more information about Persona because I want to know how he ended up here and stuff like that. Like we know nothing about that, and I feel like if he's actually going to be sticking as a party member, he'll be a very interesting taciturn party member because it's like, two mages. Also, he's probably going to out Shally's character as a mage. So, but
Yeah, I took that into consideration too.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. Is this? I've seen a little bit of him before one, and it just seemed like a just kind of generally antagonist. But the fact that Shally is also being influenced by the fact that the way Shally's treating him is like actually spared him and whatnot. This is kind of a bit using my meta analogies, but that's like there must be some more interesting backstory to this guy now, actually, and I can't wait to see how that unveils unveils itself. But then again, there's also things I would like to know a little bit more about all the other crew and whatnot as well, like the captain, Maelstrom, who's kind of fallen into the background lately. Actually, Victor is one of the ones I'm least interested in. So.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Good information to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we last left off, we were, I think, about to leave the Mage Tower. Several people stayed back for a moment to destroy all of the phylacteries in the phylactery room. And and that was Cogs, Gwenail, and Delwyn? Just those three?
Yep.
Okay. So the other two, the other characters end up on the Tempest Stream first. So we'll deal with them. We'll go deal with them first. When you guys make your way back up to the top of the tower, and by the way, your journey through the tower has, even with Uldred defeated, the tower is very desolate with the exception of all these random bodies and corpses that have long been decayed over time. It's not a pretty sight. And it probably is a little disheartening, making you think, perhaps maybe this could have been avoided entirely. Go ahead.
I was saying we still have the chance to make it so it doesn't happen.
Right. When you guys reach the top of the tower, the Tempest Dream is already there. Actually, Cogs probably would have given you the flare. He has a flare that he probably would have given you so that you can signal the Tempest Dream. And it'll arrive to pick you guys up. They'll toss the rope down. You'll be able to climb up rather easily. I'm assuming Maximilian, possibly even Leoldin, will let the other people climb first?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll let them come first.
Okay. As you guys are waiting for everybody to climb first, Liam is looking over the edge of the tower, and he's not moving. He's got a very morose look on his face.
Hey, you! Templar! We need to leave.
He says, "What exactly do you intend on doing with me?"
Well, that's a good question. Perhaps drop you off in Kirkwall?
What's happened here? He says, and he's looking out, and he's looking out, and as you've flown around, you probably have taken this for granted, but Thetis is like a wasteland. It's very Fallout 3, and it seems like Liam is absorbing what he's seeing because he's been under a trance. You can probably imagine he's been in a trance for who knows how long, more than a year, maybe even.
Yeah.
And he's waking up now to see the world like this, and he seems a little he seems a little disoriented slash not really sure what to do with all of this information.
Well then,
What's the last thing you can remember?
Are you asking him what's the last thing you remember?
Yes, that could possibly have led to why he fell under. Big guy, always keep forgetting his name. Demon guy.
Uldred.
Uldred. What could have led to him falling under Uldred?
The circle is under attack, he says. It had been taken over by demons. There was talk on the right of annulment. I was just doing my job. I was sent to exterminate all of the mages in this tower because they were a danger to not only this immediate area, but all of Ferelden. Apparently we lost, and the world became a ruin anyway.
So, yes. You know about the Darkspawn, I guess? No?
He said, I've heard stories. Is this what this is?
I move up to... I walk up to him, to the edge. Yes, that is exactly what this is. The Darkspawn have won, for now. But, things... We're here to set things straight. Set things right. And if you want to be part of that, I won't stop you. But it'll be dangerous.
He, while you're talking to him, he's still looking out into the, you know, he doesn't turn to face you. He's still looking out, in the distance. And he says, "What makes you think you can fix all of this?"
I am confident in my abilities and those of my friends. We have a lead, so to speak. A lead how to fix it. I'm being like, vague intentionally.
Right.
That's all I can say at the moment.
I haven't had much experience fighting Darkspawn, he says. Keeping the mages in check is all I know.
Well, you know what? Just a few weeks ago, the only thing I knew were protecting innocent civilians. And here I am, killing werewolves, darkspawn, demons. You look... Let me ask you a question, Mr. Templar. Are you a man who is hardened by hardship?
He groans more than you would ever know, he says.
We have a hard road ahead of us, Templar. We could use another hand, if you are willing. Look, you can either go away, live out your life in peace, well, however long that will last. Or you can fight now, perhaps die, yes, but at least you'll fight and maybe save the day. together with me and my friends here. We got a good plan going.
He nods. Then he looks back at the entrance of the tower. Everyone I have ever known was in that tower, and every one of them is now dead. I suppose that I don't really have much other purpose here anymore. So for now, I will at least join you.
You don't have to decide right now, but we appreciate the help. Still, I sense that you and Delwyn has a history together.
His brow furrows. And he doesn't respond.
Just make sure it doesn't become a problem, alright?
Just make sure he doesn't become a problem, he says to you.
Well, we had our disputes, but so far we seem to be getting along well. Anyway, we should get going. I don't know how long the ship will stay.
He takes one more look out into the distance, turns around, and then he makes for the rope and starts climbing up.
And then he realizes he's climbing up into the sky and goes, "Oh my god."
Yeah. He's a little shocked by... I mean, he was so busy absorbing what was going on around him that he didn't notice the big honking giant ship above him. He actually stops like halfway through when he realizes what's going on. He looks back down, and you all, I'm assuming, encouraging him to continue. Then he sighs and then keeps climbing up. When you reach the top and get on board of the ship, you see Cogs talking with several of the other crew members. He seems really excited because, again, if you remember him saying he hasn't been like allowed off the ship other than Kirkwall, except for this one time, and he's like, "Okay, and then we blew up this demon over here, and went, and then Lilden, oh my gosh, Lilden, he was the one who killed the demon." And he was really, really excited and telling them all these stories, and several of the crewmen are actually very entertained by Cogs's reenactment. You probably catch him given a few overblown details, like how
hundreds of them.
Maximilian like punched a column and then like the entire like ceiling collapsed on top of like 5 different demons. And
No, that happened.
No, Cogs. That's what happened. When he punched 2 columns and made the whole half of that part of the tower collapse on them. You have to get this part right.
oh yes, of course, yes. Oh, and Grenelle. Oh, you should have seen Grenelle. He was able to make the entire room shake like an earthquake. And then big giant geysers of fire started erupting all over the battlefield. Ooh, it was amazing.
Laughing.
At this point, the captain...
I'd say even Lealden's cracking a smile with this goings on.
At this point, Captain Maelstrom appears. She comes out from below deck, and she says, "I see the heroes have returned. I trust that you were successful?"
Yes.
I mean, would you expect anything less?
She says, "We should probably go back to Kirkwall." Her voice sounds fairly detached when she says that.
Anything wrong, Captain?
She turns over to the trap. She turns over to the door where she emerged from, and some of the crew members come out carrying, it looks like a stretcher with a shroud over something.
Oh no.
What happened?
It's probably the sickness.
Yeah.
He died in his sleep. Comfortably, however. I suppose we have you to thank for that, she says as she turns to Gwenail.
I'm glad I was able to help
You were.
at all.
You did, she said. You did more than any of us could for him. It is customary for us to have a burial at sea, she says. I would much prefer that we did so in friendly waters.
Yes.
Of course, Captain.
Understood.
Well, all right then. She turns to Vicious Vic, who is at the wheel, and she says, Victor, to Kirkwall, please. Aye, aye, Captain, he says, and he starts steering the ship towards Kirkwall. All right, so now you guys have free reign of the Normandy, I'm sorry, of the Tempest Dream, to walk around and talk to people or whatnot. Some of the, well, I guess what should happen immediately next is Captain Maelstrom will see Nathan, Liam, and Jody. They will introduce themselves to the captain, and she says, "Ah, you've picked up more people," she says. Semi amused, but not really amused.
Annoyed a bit.
Semi-annoyed.
Yes,
sure
indeed.
I've done it along well.
I must reiterate again, she says, that I do not think we have enough beds for all of these people. Guardsmen, she says.
Oh, I'm sure we make do somehow.
Mm.
Isn't that right, Captain?
I suppose, she says. She looks down on the ground and says, I guess there is one bed that's just become free. And she swallows for a little bit.
Oh.
She turns to the other three and says, as long as these people can vouch for you, you are welcome on the ship. Just please be respectful. There are a lot of people that are mourning right now. And she leaves. Jody...
Before she goes and whatnot, would I have ever caught that guy's name? The one's name. I hate to do this to you because I doubt you had a name from a little bit.
She turns and said, we call him Radford. R-A-D-F-O-R-D.
Radford. A name should be known when you send them to the burial. I wish I would have got it sooner. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right, she said. And okay, and then she leaves, and Jody is watching as the shrouded stretcher leaves from view, and she says, "What on earth happened?"
Do you remember the mysterious sickness that Aveline was looking into?
Of course, she says. It was one of the most violent illnesses I had ever seen in my life.
Yes. It was the same.
She covers her mouth and says, "Oh goodness," she says. "I'm so very sorry."
Yes.
It's,
It makes me
I
wish
don't
that she was here. She would have been able to do so much more than I would have ever been able to do.
Nathan takes the hand and he pats Gwenail on the shoulder and gives it a squeeze.
Thank you.
Again, as I said, the overall morale around the ship is pretty challenged at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, the crewmen are continuing on with their duties, but you can tell that, I mean, they're not talking to each other. They're not as jolly as they used to be. Because as far as they know, is they just lost a family member. So
Yeah.
This is so strange. How can this sickness be here now? I mean, this can't be a coincidence.
Do you mean to say that the uprising of all this demon activity might be connected?
During our time in the Fade, I actually did see something very interesting.
Oh.
Yes?
During the trip, Aveline's trip to I can't remember what it was. Redcliffe. All right, Alistair, right.
Alistair, yes.
I saw something very strange happen to her. I like to describe it like the little smoke mist stuff. And
Yeah, the
whatnot, in a way-
purple smoke mist, yes. And
Because my
like,
character has a higher communication than I probably have, whatever communication score in reality.
Yeah.
So you probably
So just to reiterate, it was a purplish smoke mist that appeared, and then it went through her nostrils. And then after it invaded her nostrils, she didn't remember what happened within the last like several seconds. It's like she didn't notice anything. Completely oblivious to what had happened.
So some kind of demon? Or magic? Oh, obviously magic, but... And then
Not
we have
magic I am familiar with, so...
And then we have it on this ship as well, and I am one of the few, if not the only, survivor of possibly the same sickness. I'm quite sure it is. This just can't be a coincidence. Am I...
No. I agree. I stopped believing coincidence many years ago.
Well, I guess we should keep a lookout for any clues, whether from where this came from. If you could, I don't know, run some tests on my blood or something similar to see if you can find something, a cure. I don't know how this works. I just survived. I don't know anything else.
If we could determine what started it, could we maybe use that as a means of wanting to end it?
I don't know what, but I'm pretty sure
Whatever it
it's
is,
the best place to look. Because before I even got taken here, there was signs of a pox that was spreading there, so...
At your place? In your
I was
timeline?
in Redcliffe before I got here.
Yeah, in
Oh.
Redcliffe. He was in Redcliffe, so...
Wow.
Chances are whatever was happening was stopped. But in whatever timeline this is, it's clear that it hadn't. Just like whatever happened at the tower wasn't stopped, the blight wasn't stopped.
whatever it is, as I've managed to figure out, going off of what I learned from Aveline, it is sorceress in origin, and it is not transmitted in a typical way that infection, that a disease is, and is not too much and is more akin to a strange form of infection. But how is it contracted? Perhaps in like a curse-like state. There are so many questions to add for this. But
Yes.
the fact that he is apparently has been present many of our lives at some point makes me wonder if it somehow connects back to this incident. All the time wibbliness going on.
Exactly. This makes my head hurt. Well, I don't think we have all the correct answers for now.
No,
We should
but
keep
I'm
a
willing to
lookout.
bet most of them are in Redcliffe, so I think we
True.
need to seriously consider potentially making that our next destination after we're finished in Kirkwall.
Agreed.
Agreed. All right. I need to wash up and get some shut eye.
Okay.